it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com and welcome back to the Healthy Organic Vegan on a Budget series leading up to my upcoming ebook by the same name. I've got a visitor! Hi! As you can see, I'm not in my kitchen in Los Angeles. I'm actually at my parents' home in Massachusetts. I just traveled here last night and it is perfect timing for this video because this video is all about how to eat healthy foods on a budget while you're traveling. I've got a list of tips for you about foods that you can bring on the road, on the airplane, wherever you're going, and I also am going to tell you about what I ate on the plane yesterday. I have a tendency to spend a lot of money when I'm traveling, especially if I'm going on the airplane. I guess when I'm traveling across the country especially, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a 6-hour trip, I better bring tons of food, and I know I'm not going to find a ton of organic vegan options on the airplane or in the airport, so I tend to load up on a lot of packaged foods, and I'll often spend like $20 just to travel. But when I'm really prepared, I can save a lot of money and get it between $5 to $10 and have a phenomenal meal, and this usually accounts for my lunch and my dinner. And you could even trim this even further if you wanted to. The first thing that you can bring when you're traveling by car, by train, by plane is fruit. So things like grapes and apples are fantastic on a trip. Just make sure that they're organic. If you check out the past video about avoiding foods that are on the Dirty Dozen list, both apples and grapes should be organic, especially because you're eating them whole without peeling them or anything. And so those just travel really well. You bring a whole apple and it's perfect. Fresh cut vegetables are also really great. You can bring celery, cucumbers, carrots, red bell peppers and other types of peppers tend to be on the pricier side. You can certainly bring those, but you're going to spend a lot of extra money on that. Along with veggies, dips are so great. You can make your own hummus at home, which can be super cheap, and that travels really, really well. As you'll see at the end of this video, I opted for baba ganoush, which is made from eggplant. I ended up buying it, but I easily could have made it myself. If you're really into food bars, consider making your own. You can save a ton of money. An organic vegan food bar tends to be $2 to $3, but if you make it at home, you can save so much more and cut your costs majorly and bring a ton. And then whatever you don't want to bring on your trip, you can actually put in the freezer to save for when you get back. Then there's all sorts of crunchy snacks. You can do like roasted chickpeas, organic popcorn. You can make your own sweet potato chips or organic potato chips. You could bring things like seeds. Nuts tend to be a little bit expensive, but things like sunflower seeds are really wonderful. They'll still give you that crunchy sensation, and you can get them raw and roast them with a little bit of salt or any type of seasoning yourself. Really, really yummy. If you're traveling in the morning and you want some sort of breakfast, you could bring along some quick cooking oatmeal. Now if you buy this pre-packaged, it will be a little pricier, but if you get this in bulk, you can put it in your own little container and just get some hot water. So if you're on the airplane, for example, just ask for hot water that you would use for tea, pour that on top of the oatmeal, and you've got some ready to go. One of my favorite tips, as you'll see with the video that I did, was I made some pasta ahead of time, and it's really good cold, but you can also heat it up with some hot water just like you would with your oatmeal. That worked like a charm. And of course, cold salads of many different kinds. You can make a brown rice dish, a quinoa dish. You could even just do a regular salad with lettuce, as long as you're going to eat it fairly soon into your trip. And lastly, there's of course sandwiches. You can make a nut butter and jelly, like a peanut butter and jelly, an almond butter and jelly, and get creative with those flavorings there. Even if you're gluten-free, you can get some gluten-free bread, although gluten-free bread tends to be a little pricier. So for gluten-free, you could get some sort of a wrap, like a brown rice tortilla, which tends to be pretty cheap, and add in some vegetables and some hummus. And one of my all-time favorite sandwiches is a chickpea tuna sandwich. If you click the link below, you can see my recipe. Now let me show you what I ate on my trip. So I brought 4 things along with me. I brought some cut up cucumber with baba ganoush, some pre-made organic brown rice pasta with some organic sauce on it. I brought 2 different snacks that I bought in the store. So for the super cheap items, the pasta was really wonderful. The brown rice pasta was actually on sale, and I had some leftover pasta sauce, and I just put a little bit on there, and it carried really well in the stainless steel container. I added in a little warm water and shook it up, and it heated back up, it got nice and moist, and it was super filling, and that just cost like a couple dollars for me to bring, and that was basically my lunch and my dinner. Then I also had the cucumbers cut up with baba ganoush. I got an organic cucumber for a little over $1.50, and the baba ganoush sushi I bought packaged, so it was a little pricey, but had I made it own or brought my own hummus, that would have been really affordable. I will say though, I would definitely keep them separate or find a creative way to store them together because it got really, really messy. The only thing that's tricky with something kind of a liquidy or a spread is that when you're traveling on the plane, it has to be under 3.4 ounces, and I wanted to bring a little bit more, so that's why I mixed it in with the cucumber. It was messy, but it still tasted really good. Then I splurged a little and got some packaged food. I got some really nice chips that were actually on sale. I really love these seaweed cracker type chippy things. They're pretty pricey, but they were $1 off, and they definitely hit the spot. And then I brought along an expensive bar because I didn't have time to make my own, but if I had, it would have been super simple and I would have saved a lot of money. I hope those tips help you out with your own travel adventures, and I would love to hear from you now. What do you bring along when you're traveling? What are your favorite cheap, inexpensive foods that you can get and that last a long time when you're traveling on the plane, on a train maybe, in the car, or wherever else you're going on your trip, maybe even a boat. Maybe you're going on like on a ferry or something like that. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new to this channel so you'll know when I have more videos like this. And speaking of which, I also have a mailing list that you can sign up for so you get every single one of these videos in this series. Again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, you can check out ecovegangal.com for more information about healthy, happy living, and of course, the social media networks are a really wonderful way to connect with me and with other like-minded people. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one.
Recipes. Now, the thing is, how do you save money buying these superfoods? Well, number one, I love using buyers clubs online.